Muscular system. Okay. So, sa muscular system, we will be discussing mainly one type, no, of muscle tissue. Kasi diba during our introduction ng anatomy, we classified muscle tissues into three. No? Kung natatanda nyo, skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. No? So, ang magiging focus ng discussion natin, skeletal muscles lang muna. Because we have a separate discussion for the cardiovascular system. Then, ito madidiscuss natin pagdating natin sa digestive system. But let's have an overview of the three kinds, no? Or three types of muscle tissue. We have skeletal, cardiac, and smooth muscles. Skeletal muscles are so-called skeletal because they are attached to our bones, to our skeleton. These are the muscles that we use to move our body. These are the muscles that we study during anatomy. Yung origin, insertion, nerve supply, and action. Your biceps, no? Your quadriceps, and all of those muscles that we have discussed nung first term, those are skeletal muscles. No? And they are voluntary controlled by the body. No? So, ibig sabihin, you move your body at your own will. Diba? No? Kaya ang tawag doon, voluntary control. Diba? While when we say cardiac muscle, these are the muscles located in the heart. And as we all know, ang control ng cardiac muscles is involuntary. Because, diba, hindi mo naman mapapahinto at your own will yung puso mo. Diba? Hindi mo rin siya mapapatibok at your own will. It is under involuntary control. Diba? Kaya nga in biology classes, during dissection ng mga frog, pag tinanggal mo yung puso ng buhay na frog from its body, it will beat on its own, no? Hanggang maubos na yung kanyang ATP, diba? Titibok pa rin siya mag-isa. Because again, may involuntary control yun. No? Ganun din with smooth muscles, which are located in blood vessels and in hollow organs. No? They are under involuntary control. Ang pwede lang natin makontrol voluntarily are our skeletal muscles. Ngayon, what about yung striated and non-striated? Ano yun? No? It has something to do with their appearance under the microscope. Pag sinilip mo ang skeletal muscles under the microscope, meron siyang visible striations or may makikita kang alternating light bands and dark bands sa surface niya. May visible stripes yung surface ng muscle. Mamaya, madidiscuss natin what's the reason behind those visible stripes. Hence, it is classified as striated. Same with cardiac muscles. Pag sinilip mo, under the microscope, ang cardiac muscles, meron ding visible alternating light bands and dark bands. Kaya sila tinawag na striated. And that is why the smooth, since yung smooth muscles, non-striated, kasi yung surface niya, smooth talaga. Wala kang makikita stripes. Kaya ang classification niya or ang description niya, non-striated. Okay? So remember, no, yung voluntariness, tsaka yung appearance under the microscope, at tsaka yung kanilang location. Again, for this meeting, ang magiging focus ng discussion natin will be more on skeletal muscle physiology. Okay? So, what are the functional properties of muscles? No? So, we have four: contractility, excitability, extensibility, and elasticity. Contractility is the ability of the muscle to shorten forcefully or to contract. Yung tatlong yun, nagko-contract. And when muscles contract, they shorten forcefully. Diba? Like for example, itong biceps, pag nag-contract siya, diba, it shortens. As a result, it pulls yung mga bones kung saan siya naka-attach closer together. Diba? Because of the shortening of the biceps brachii, it produces elbow flexion. Diba? Because of the shortening of the triceps brachii, it produces elbow extension. Diba? So, muscles shorten with force. Ganun din with cardiac muscles. No? The muscles of the fibers of the cardiac muscles, pag nag-contract yun, nag-shorten. Kaya yung heart chambers natin, di ba? Nag-squeeze na gano'n, lumiliit siya. It's a result of the contraction of the muscles. Maliwanag ba? So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng contractility. All three muscles have the ability to contract. What about excitability? Excitability is the capacity of the muscle to respond to stimulus. When muscles are stimulated, in the case of skeletal muscles, saan nanggagaling ang stimulus? Nanggagaling ang stimulus saan? Sa nervous system. Diba? From the nervous system, you have those nerves, wherein yun yung nerve supply ng muscle. Kunyari, ito yung muscle. No? Nerve supply, muscle, dyan tatakbo yung stimulus or yung impulse. Upon arriving towards the muscle, dun ngayon siya mag-contract. Diba? When the muscles are stimulated, or rather, when the nerves are stimulated, the muscles contract. Na? So, that's what you mean by excitability. Muscles are excitable. Diba? Kaya nga, di ba, pag gumamit ka ng electrical stimulators, when you use electrical stimulators na gagamitin nyo pagdating ng third year, no? Pag nakuryente yung nerves, no? Pag tumakbo yung electrical stimulus dun sa nerves ng muscle, tapos mapapasa dun sa muscle, magkocontract yung muscles. No? That's what you mean when the muscles are excitable. Now, during nerve injuries, let's say for example, naputol yung nerve, no? Naputol yung nerve, di ba? So wala nang magko-conduct no stimulus going to the muscle. Sa tingin nyo, will the muscle remain excitable pag totally na-cut yung nerve? No. Okay? Now, yung pagiging excitable ng muscle, no, is dependent on the presence of its nerve supply. No? Kapag naputol ang nerve supply, kahit anong stimulate mo sa muscle, mawawala yung ability niya to contract. Maliwanag ba? Or to respond to a stimulus. Then next is extensibility. What is meant by extensibility? The ability to be stretched beyond its normal resting length and still be able to contract. How will you describe that? Let's say for example, ito yung resting length ng muscle. For example, ayan, di ba? Pag naka-extend ang elbow, naka-resting length ang what do you call this? Ang biceps. Nakukuha? No? O kaya naman, pag naka-flex ang elbow, naka-resting length ang triceps. Di ba ito resting length ng triceps? Di ba? Pag nag-contract siya, yan ang contracted length niya. Nakukuha niyo yung point? Pag naka-flex ka, ito ang resting length ng triceps. Pero you can still stretch that, di ba? How do you stretch the triceps? Pag ganun, di ba? Nakukuha niyo yung point? May manag ba? Kasi ano siya eh? Shoulder extensor din siya eh. Diba? Ngayon, even if you stretch the muscle beyond its resting length, kahit mas stretch mo pa yung muscle beyond its resting length, pag pinakontract mo yan, magkocontract pa rin siya. That's what I mean by that. Nakukuha niyo yung point? Elastic kasi siya, na parang goma, na kahit i-stretch mo siya beyond its resting length, pwede pa rin siyang mag-contract. Because our muscles have elastic property. In fact, di ba, mas efficient ang nagiging contraction ng isang muscle kung before the active contraction, i-stretch mo muna siya. Yun yung reason behind stretching before an exercise. Yun din, anong tawag dito? Hindi lang yung mga exercise na ginagawa ng mga, anong tawag doon, yung mga nagsusumba, even during weight training. Diba? Kasi sa weight training, intense yung contraction ng muscle. Diba? Nag-ano din muna, nag-i-stretching muna. Kasi mas efficient yung contraction. Again, ang tawag doon, extensibility. Now, elasticity, ano naman tong elasticity? It's the ability of the muscle to recoil to its original resting length after being stretched. Pagka i-stretch mo siya, babalik siya sa original niyang length. Nakuha nyo? Hindi ibig sabihin niya pag in-stretch mo, yung gano'n na yung haba niya. Ay hirap naman di ba? So every time na mag-i-stretch ka, humahaba yung muscle mo. Tapos di na bumabalik. Di ba? Mahirap naman yan. Muscles are elastic. So, muscles can contract, muscles are excitable, muscles are extensible, and muscles are also elastic. So remember those functional properties of our muscles. No? So that's how they respond, no? kapag ka nag-apply tayo ng, for example, stretching, no, movement, and other exercises sa pasyente. Okay? Skeletal muscles, so, ayan, dito na tayo, skeletal na, sabi ko sa inyo, ang focus ng discussion natin, skeletal. Skeletal muscles or striated muscles with its associated connective tissue constitute about 40% of the body weight. Na? Halos kalahati na, ng body weight natin. Kaya kapag nag-gain ka talaga ng muscle mass, no, talagang dumadagdag talaga yung weight natin. Na? So skeletal muscle is so named because they are attached to our skeletal system. But there are some skeletal muscles attached to the skin or to the connective tissue. Okay? Let's continue. Na? And they are called striated because of, na-explain ko na kanina, no? Kung bakit tinawag na striated. There is a further explanation mamaya, no? Pagdating natin dun sa microscopic appearance of skeletal muscle. And individual skeletal muscles such as biceps brachii, no, are complete organs as a result of being comprised by several tissues: muscle, nerve, and connective tissue. So ibig sabihin, considered siya as individual organ. No? Ang ating biceps, ang ating triceps, deltoid, no? Individual organs yan. Bakit? Kasi may muscle doon, may nerve doon, may connective tissue din doon. Okay? So, yan. So let's take a look now at the structure of skeletal muscles. No? So this is just a diagram. So each skeletal muscle, no, when you cut it, no, kunyari ito yung muscle naka-attach dun sa bone, tapos kinat natin, no, parang ham, di ba, ang itsura, no, is surrounded by a connective tissue sheath called epimysium. Yan, epimysium. Yung pinaka-covering ng entire muscle, na pag kinat mo, yung naka-highlight ng kulay blue dito, that's called the epimysium. No? The covering, no, of each skeletal muscle. And then, as you can see, pag nakita mo, pag kinat mo sa loob, makita mo, the muscle fibers are bundled. No? May bundles. No? Makita nyo yung group of muscle cells or group of muscle fibers, bawat isang bilog na yan, ang tawag dyan is a fascicle. Again, fascicle. No? Bawat isang bilog, fascicle. Ayan o, fascicle. Okay? And each fascicle is covered by another layer of connective tissue. What do you call that layer? Perimysium. No? Epimysium, perimysium. Yung nasa labas, epimysium. Tapos yung nasa loob, na covering ng individual fascicles is called perimysium. And then, inside the perimysium, inside, sa loob ng fascicles, nandun naman yung individual muscle fibers. Ito, muscle fibers yan. Again, sa loob niyan, may individual muscle fibers. And each individual muscle fibers naman are surrounded by another layer of connective tissue called endomysium. So may tatlong layers ng connective tissue. Sa labas, epimysium, and then inside, the fascicles are covered by perimysium, and then inside, further inside, no, you have individual muscle fibers surrounded by endomysium. No? So, ganun yung structural arrangement ng muscles natin. Okay, sige, let us continue. Hanggang nasang level pa lang tayo? Nandito pa lang tayo. Maliwanag ba? Okay? So, sige. Okay. So, nandito tayo Nandito tayo. Ayan. Nandito tayo sa level na to. So, a muscle fiber, yung muscle fiber is a large cell. So, therefore, ang muscle fiber, considered siya as cell. Yun yung cell ng ating muscles. Maliwanag ba? So, we can call it muscle cell. So, ibig sabihin, meron po siyang mitochondria, meron siyang cell membrane, meron siyang endoplasmic reticulum. All of those cell organelles, meron siya, no? Nakukuha niyo yung point? In fact, isa sa mga cells na pinakamaraming mitochondria in the body, itong muscle fiber. Maliwanag ba? Meron din siya nucleus. Mamaya makikita niyo yung structure niya. Now, why is it that instead of calling it muscle cells, simply cells, why do we call it muscle fibers? Because of their, what? Cylindrical elongated structure. Pahaba kasi sila, parang sinulid. Di ba? No? Subukan yung himayin yung mga lutong karne. Di ba? Yung karne ng baboy or karne ng baka. Di ba may mga hibla-hibla siya talaga? Di ba? Those are muscle fibers. Yun yung sinasabing muscle fibers. And muscle fibers range in length from 1 millimeter to 30 centimeters. Siyempre, depending on the length of the entire muscle. Like for example, in the body, the longest muscle is the sartorius. Di yung sartorius, di yung muscle fibers nun extend from one end to the other end of the sartorius muscle. Naintindihan? Depende sa haba ng muscle natin. Now, there are alternating light bands and dark bands. Okay? Actually, makikita mo yung alternating light bands and dark bands dito pa sa level na to. Mamaya explain ko kung ano tong level na to. Pero as you can see, yung light bands and dark bands, yung kulay green, tsaka yung kulay purple. Pag nakita mo may alternating stripe appearance. Diba? Yun yung sinasabing striations. Na pag sinilip mo under the microscope, striated siya. Nakukuha? No? So, yun yun. Kaya siya sinasabing striated. And the number of muscle fibers remains constant after birth. Ibig sabihin, once we are born, the number of muscle fibers in each of our muscles, yun na yun. Hindi na siya madadagdagan. Bakit po lumalaki yung muscles natin as we grow? Di ba? Or bakit lumalaki yung muscles pag nag-weight training ka? No? Hindi na dadagdagan yon, but the individual size or diameter of each muscle fiber increases. Naintindihan? Mas lumalaki siya. A result, lumalaki yung muscle. What do you call that term? Ang tawag dun sa term na yon, hypertrophy. Nag-hypertrophy yung muscle. No? It's a result of adaptation ng muscle to the increased load that you give. Pag binigyan mo ng mas malaking load ang muscle, no? After several period of exercises, lalaki talaga siya. Hypertrophy. The opposite of hypertrophy is atrophy. When a muscle is not used, pag hindi ginamit ang muscle, di ba, hindi siya nag-contract. Like for example, yung mga pasyenteng bedridden, as in walang galawan, hindi na nakakatayo. Nakukuha, without exercise, the muscles can atrophy. Yung mga pasyente na nilagyan ng cast, di ba, walang galawan yan di ba, kasi nakakast for several weeks, they can undergo atrophy. Kaya dun papasok yung physical therapy pag tinanggal yung cast. Naintindihan, dun papasok yung exercise. Maliwanag?
Sir,
no?
Bakit po nagkakaroon ng bed sore yung mga bedridden?
Okay, good question. Although, madidiscuss pa natin yan sa higher levels nyo. Yung bed sore is a result of pressure to the skin. Di ba? Halimbawa, ang tagal na kahiga. Hindi kasi gumagalaw yung pasyente. Yung pressure doon sa mga bony prominences. Di ba? Pag matagal na may pressure, hindi makapasok yung blood flow doon Nakuha niyo yung point? So sa katagalan na hindi makapasok yung blood flow, nagsasuffer yung tissues. Di ba? Doon nagsisimulang magkaroon ng sugat. Yes, na pressure ulcer. Yan. Na? So, ano yan? Kasama yan sa magiging topics ninyo. Na? Wound care. Kasama yan sa wound care. Nakuha? So sa katagalan, nagkakaroon ng, so again parehong adaptations to hypertrophy, ito, yung lumalaki, no? As a result of increased load dun sa muscle. Atrophy, ito, pagka-decreased load. No? Lumiliit naman siya. Pag lumiit po ba, nabawasan yung number ng muscle fibers? No. Yun pa rin. Pero yung individual sizes niya, yung diameter niya, lumiit. Kailan pa pwede mangyari ang atrophy? When the nerve supply is damaged. May dalawang klase ng atrophy. No? One is disuse atrophy. When you say disuse atrophy, yun yung hindi nagagamit. Kasi nga, na-cast, no? Na-immobilize for a long period of time. Di ba? And the other one is denervation atrophy. When you say denervation atrophy, yun, natanggal yung nerve, na-cut yung nerve, na-damage yung nerve. When the nerve of the muscles are damaged, mag-a-atrophy yan, liliit yan. Like for example, when the ulnar nerve is damaged, sa hand, no, mapapansin nyo sa katagalan, yung mga muscles dito sa kamay, halos mawala na, lumiliit ang matitira yung mga buto sa kamay. Tapos naka-claw yung hand. Bakit? Kasi nga wala na nagko-control ng muscles of the hand. Maliwanag ba? So, yun, tandaan yung two kinds of atrophy, disuse atrophy and denervation atrophy. So, let us continue. Okay. Now, let's go to... bakit ano? Parang kulang. Wait lang. Okay. Saan tayo?
Sir, pwede pa ano?
Ha? Wala akong remote.
Tawagin mo sunod.
Hindi, mag-exist.
Yan. So, balik muna tayo dito sa level na to. So, sabi natin, the muscle fiber is the cell, no, of the muscle. No? Yung muscle fiber is cell ng muscle. Ngayon, let's discuss its cell membrane. Discuss natin yung cell membrane niya. Yung cell membrane daw ng muscle is called sarcolemma. Again, no? So, tandaan nyo the sarcolemma is the cell membrane of our muscles. And kung makikita nyo, ang cell membrane, it has many, nakita nyo ito? May mga butas. No? May mga butas siya. These are tube-like inward folds that are called T-tubules. Para mas ma-appreciate nyo, i-drawing ko dito. Kunyari, ayan yung muscle fiber. Ayan yung muscle fiber. Tapos, ito yung kanyang cell membrane. Yung kanyang cell membrane, may mga inward folds. No? When you say inward folds, parang mga butas na nag-e-extend hanggang doon sa loob. Okay? So microscopic to kumbaga nilakihan lang natin. Hanggang sa loob. No? Naintindihan? Invaginations hanggang sa loob. Anong tawag doon? These are called T-tubules. Mamaya, explain natin anong purpose niyan. Or simply, yung T na yan, it means transverse tubules. No? T-tubules or transverse tubules. And those T-tubules occurs at a regular interval along the sarcolemma. Okay? And then each of those T-tubules daw are associated with enlarged portions of what? Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Kung natatandaan nyo, in discussion sa cell, may dalawang klase ng endoplasmic reticulum, smooth and rough. Sa general cell, dun sa general cell na yon, yung smooth, anong pinoproduce? Lipids and ano nga yung isa?
Protein.
Steroids. While yung rough endoplasmic reticulum, anong pinoproduce? Proteins. Kasi nandun sa kanya yung ribosomes. Nakuha? So itong smooth endoplasmic reticulum na to, ang tawag naman, sarcoplasmic reticulum. So bawat T-tubules may katabing sarcoplasmic reticulum. Kunyari, ito yung sarcoplasmic reticulum. Yan.
Tubules.
Bawat isa may katabing sarcoplasmic reticulum on both sides. No? On both sides. Yan. Okay. Ngayon, kung makikita nyo ngayon, No? Kung makikita nyo ngayon, yung enlarged portion, no, sa dulo ng sarcoplasmic reticulum, ang tawag doon ay terminal cisternae or terminal cistern. Alam niyo kung ano yung cistern? Cistern is parang storage. Balloon. Parang ganon. Anong ini-store dyan? Sa sarcoplasmic reticulum at sa terminal cistern. Anong ini-store dyan? Calcium. Napakaraming calcium sa loob niyan. Yan. So in the case of the muscle, it's not lipids, it's not steroid that is being stored here in the sarcoplasmic reticulum. But rather, ano ulit ang nandyan? Calcium. Because calcium is vital for muscle contraction. Tandaan nyo, any imbalance in calcium will affect muscle contraction. Okay? No, napaka-importante ng calcium sa muscle contraction. Hindi lang calcium ha, makita nyo mamaya, sodium, ano pa, potassium, no, yun, tatlong yun. Calcium, sodium, potassium, tsaka chloride are very important for muscle contraction.
Paano yung protein?
Kaya, yun, ang protein, yun na yun. Yung mamaya, papunta tayo doon. Okay, papunta tayo doon sa protein. Pero napaka-importante ng mga electrolytes na yun. That is why, di ba, hindi pwedeng ma-dehydrate ang mga athletes. Pag na-dehydrate ang mga athletes, kasama sa mababawasan na level sa body are those electrolytes. So, manghihina talaga. Maliwanag. Kaya, makita nyo, yung mga sports drinks, ang laman niya, electrolytes talaga.
Wow!
Na? Okay? Ngayon, so, since kung titignan nyo yung itsura nila, isang T-tubule, tapos on both sides, mayroong, di ba? Mayroong dalawang sarcoplasmic reticulum, no? Na may terminal cisternae. Tapos ito yung T-tubules, no? Para silang triad. Ano yung sabihin ng triad? Kasi 1, 2, 3. Dalawang sarcoplasmic reticulum plus isang T-tubules. Nakuha niyo yung point? Parang triad yung itsura nila. Kaya ang tawag doon, no? Muscle triad. No? Two terminal cisternae and their associated T-tubules form a muscle triad. Ano yung sinabi ko kanina? Ano yung nakastore doon sa sarcoplasmic reticulum? Calcium. Maliwanag. No? Calcium. Okay? And the cytoplasm of a muscle fiber is called sarcoplasm. Anong napansin nyo? Di ba? Laging ginagamit yung prefix na sarco. Sarco kasi means skeletal muscle. Okay? Kaya may sarcolemma, sarcoplasmic reticulum, sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm, cytoplasm lang yun. Di ba? Sarcoplasmic reticulum, endoplasmic reticulum lang din niya yun. No? Kumbaga binigyan lang siya ng specific name because it is in your muscles. No? Okay? Then, let us continue. So, ito na yun. So, nasa level na tayo. So, nagsimula tayo dito, no? Sa entire muscle covered by epimysium. And then inside the muscles, you have bundles called fascicles covered by perimysium. And then individual muscle fibers are separated from each other by endomysium. And then individual muscle fibers, ito na siya, may sarcolemma, no? May T-tubules at mayroong dalawang sarcoplasmic reticulum with terminal cisternae forming the T-triad. Ano ulit ang nasa loob ng terminal cisternae? Calcium. Okay? So, punta na tayo dito. Yan. Sa level na to. So, if you will look inside the muscle fibers are made up of even smaller, no? Fibers of protein. Paliit ng paliit yan. Ito na yung tinatanong kanina. No, ni Joaquin, nasan po yung protein? Nasan yung protein sa muscle? Ito na. Okay? So, muscle fibers are made up of protein strands called myofibrils. And these myofibrils are made up of protein molecules. Ano na yung protein molecules? Two kinds of protein molecules which we call myofilaments. Okay? Ano yung myofilaments na yon? Enlarge natin para mas makita niyo yung label. Ano yung myofilaments na yon? So yung myofibrils, sabi natin, sa loob niya may myofilaments pa. Anong tawag doon? Actin myofilament and myosin myofilament. Again, actin myofilament, myosin myofilament. Kaya tinawag na actin kasi yun na yung pangalan ng protein that makes up that filament. No? Actin is a protein. Same with myosin, protein din yan. In some books, the actin myofilament is known as the thin filament kasi mas mapayat siya. While the myosin myofilament is known as the thick myofilament. No? Kasi mas makapal siya. Actin and myosin. So yun na yung mga protein, no? So yun di ba sabi sa atin, the muscle is made up mainly of protein. Tama yun, pag kumain ka ng karne, no? It's a source of protein because yung karne nga protein talaga siya. Anong protein na yun? Actin at saka myosin. Nako ha? Okay?
Sir, ano pong pinagkaiba ng dalawa?
Papunta tayo doon. Yan. Okay. So, bundles of proteins, filaments are called myofibrils. Ayan ang sinabi ko kanina. Myofilaments, actin or thin filaments, and myosin, thick filaments. And actin and myosin are arranged into repeating patterns called sarcolemma. May picture ba ako dito? Ayun. Yan. So, dito tayo nagsimula. Nasaan level na tayo? Nandito na tayo. Actin, myosin. Now, if you will look at the arrangement of the actin and myosin filaments inside the muscle, ito siya pag further enlarge mo pa. Yung kulay green, tingnan nyo dito. Kulay green, myosin. Kulay purple, actin. Anong arrangement niya? Di ba? Parang design. No? May design siya, may pattern siya na sinusundan. No? May pattern na sinusundan. Let's take a look at the pattern. Basta tandaan nyo, lahat ng kulay green, base dito sa drawing na to, lahat ng kulay green, part ng myosin. Lahat ng kulay purple, part ng actin. Maliwanag ba? And again, take a look at how they are arranged. No? So kung makikita nyo, may mga myosin dito, may mga actin dito, and again, paano sila naka-arrange? Naka-arrange sila, no, to form, okay, a unit called the sarcomere. Sarco na naman, di ba? Sarcomere. Okay? Repeating patterns of sarcomere. Mahaba yan. Kung gaano kahaba ang muscle, gano'n din kadami yung sarcomere. Pwedeng dito, meron pa. Pwedeng dito, meron pa. Yung nakikita lang dito sa drawing, dalawa lang. Just for the purpose of illustration. Nakukuha niyo yung point? Kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga actin and myosin naka-interdigitate sa isa't isa. Imagine nyo na lang na yung fingers on my left hand, for example, yun yung myosin. Yung fingers in my right hand, ito naman yung mga actin. Nakuha niyo yung point? Naka-overlap sila sa isa't isa.
Parang stripes yan.
Nakuha niyo yung point? Naka-overlap sila sa isa't isa, and then, they form repeating units called sarcomere. So, ito isang sarcomere yan, ito isang sarcomere, ito isang sarcomere. Nakukuha niyo yung point? So, kung mapapansin nyo, anong nasa loob ng isang sarcomere? Anong kulay? Anong kulay? Kulay green, di ba? Ayan o, tinan nyo. Kulay green yung nasa loob ng isang unit. Ito yun. yung kulay green na yon. Therefore, one sarcomere extends from this one up to this one. And then from this one up to this one. So, ibig sabihin, sa kahabaan ng isang muscle, marami kang makikita sarcomere. Nakukuha niyo yung point? Okay? Now, let us enlarge further yung isang actin myofilament. Pag pinalaki mo pa siya, ito ang itsura niya. Okay? Now, ang isang actin myofilament, okay, is composed of 3 protein molecules. Ano yung 3 protein molecules na yan? Itong mga kulay purple na pearls, na parang pearls, ito talaga yung actin na tinatawag. While yung mga kulay red, ang tawag dyan, troponin. While yung pahaba na kulay blue, these are called your tropomyosin. Mamaya, makikita niyo yung role niyan sa muscle contraction. While yung kulay green, ano ulit yung kulay green? Myosin. Di ba? Yung myosin, pag pinalaki mo, ganito itsura niya. Anong itsura? Ay, meron pala siyang mga ganon. Because it is made up of myosin molecules that are bundled together. Anong itsura ng myosin molecule? Pag kumuha ka ng isang myosin molecule dyan, ganitong itsura niya. Para siyang golf club. No? Kaya lang yung golf club may 2 heads. No? Mamaya, makita niyo yung purpose niya. No? So, when you look at it under the microscope, pag tinignan mo under the microscope, ito yung sinasabi natin kanina na alternating dark bands and light bands. Okay? Kaya siya striated. Kaya siya striated because of this appearance. So, again, no? Yung muscle fiber sa loob niya, may mga hibla na ang tawag natin ay myofibrils. Sa loob ng myofibrils, mayroong mga protein filaments na ang tawag ay actin and myosin myofilaments. And this is how the actin and myosin myofilaments are arranged in the sarcomere. Then these are the components of actin and these are the components of myosin. So, sige, tuloy natin. Okay, ano sabi natin kanina? Para mas masundan nyo, i-drawing ko din. Yung pen. So what are the components? Ulit, ano yung dalawang filaments ulit? Thick filament and thin filament. Yung thick filament, anong itsura niya? Yan, may mga nakaganon. Okay, tapos sa kabila din. Tapos yung thin filament. Ito na lang gagawin ko. Isang ano na lang, isang section na lang, hirap i-drawing eh. Yan. Thin filament. Ito yung myosin. Rather, actin. Nakukuha ba? Tapos sa dulo, nakita niyo may zigzag. Sa dulo, may zigzag yan. Doon naka-anchor, doon sa zigzag na yan, dyan naka-anchor yung mga actin. Sige na nalagyan natin para mas ma-appreciate. Tapos, maintindihan niyo pa ba yung drawing ko? Nagigets niyo pa ba? Yan. Nakuha niyo? So, yung mga actin, saan siya naka-anchor? Dito sa mga Z na to. Ang tawag dito sa mga Z na to, by the way, hindi ko nasabi kanina, Z-discs or Z-line. No? Z-disc or Z-line. Sa kabin, syempre dito, meron pa din yan. Dito meron pa din yan. Isang section lang yung dinrawing ko. Anong tawag nyo sa section na yan? Sarcomere. Nakuha niyo yung point? Now, it's the arrangement of the sarcomere that is responsible why meron tayong, again, dark bands and light bands. Subukan nga nating tingnan kung nasaan yung dark bands and light bands. Hanapin natin, ha? Ayan, dito sa sarcomere. Ayan. Hanapin natin yung dark bands and light bands. Nasaan yung dark bands? Dark bands, ito siya. Mula dito hanggang dito, dark bands yan. Ang light bands, yung nandito, ang laman lang ng light bands, thin filament at saka C-disc. While ang laman ng dark bands ay thick filaments and thin filaments. Now, kaya may alternating dark bands and light bands. In other books, the dark bands are also known as A bands. Okay? While yung light bands naman are also known as I bands. Para hindi nyo pagpalit, tandaan nyo, dark bands, A bands, dark. Light bands, I, light. With the letter I. Para hindi nyo siya mapagpalit. Nakukuha? No. So, tandaan yung ganyang arrangement. Again, this is actin, this is myosin. No? Actin, myosin, naka-overlap silang gano'n. Maliwanag. Di ba? Paano kaya na-discover ng mga scientists yun? Baka yung pati yun pinakialaman pa, di ba? No? Hanggang dun sa level na yun. Okay? Now, so, again, ang sarcomere, that's the structural unit of the muscle. That's the smallest unit of the muscle that is capable of contracting. No? So, mamaya makikita natin, ano kaya yung nangyayari dyan sa muscle pag nagko-contract siya. Okay? So, ito na yon. Okay. Ayan, pakita ko na pala sa inyo. Sige, pakita ko na sa inyo kung ano nangyayari sa muscle pag nagko-contract siya. Ano, wala na kayong kibo ah.
Next week yun.
So, may sa Monday.
Sir, next week po yung exam, di ba?
Hindi pa.
Next week pa.
The week after next week. May isang lecture week pa tayo.
Ayun ko na.
May klase pa tayo sa foundation week, so wala na.
Wala na.
Baka kailangan natin magklase. Pero ganito, mag-usapan na lang tayo with Sir JC, yung usapang matino. Mag-check kami na attendance. Hindi kami magkaklase pero mag-check kami na attendance.
At paano yun, sir? Pupunta muna kami sa classroom bago
Pumunta sa labas.
Gagawa,
Proof na lang.
hindi, may maganin lang tayo ng parang meeting place natin.
mag-message ko kayo. Sir, hindi nyo sunod yung PPT, no?
Sinend ko.
Sinend niya.
Sinad ba?
Ikaw talaga, di ko tumigil sa
Sir.
GC.
Sir, na-approve na po yung leave ni Sir JC. Wala po ba kami po?
Oo nga.
Na-approve po.
Ano ba sabi niya sa inyo?
Pina-approve niya daw po yung leave niya, sir.
Anong, magko-online daw ba kayo ngayon?
Wala po
Wala
siya
po
sinabi, sir.
sinabi.
Hanggang, sige wag na muna kung ano. Hanggang this week lang naman yan. Next week papasok na yan. Kasi na ano siya din kasi yung nagbantay sa hospital hanggang, kaya nagkasakit din siya eh.
So wala po kaming class kay Sir JC ngayon. Okay.
Sir, paano po yung lessons sa kanya?
Hahabulin niya yan.
In a relaxed muscle, actin and myosin myofilaments lie side by side, and the H zones and I band are at maximum width.
Bukas na ba ulit sa bato?
Tapos na. Alas 12 pa tayo.
In a relaxed muscle, actin and
Yan. Pangit kasi yung drawing ko. No? Pero,
May ganun naman.
May
May ganun
resemblance.
naman pala.
may resemblance naman. Actually, na-realize ko din na may ganun naman pala. Okay. Yan. So, ba't ko nagpakahirap ako ng drawing? Yan. So, see this, see this, see this. Ito isa lang, pero dito dalawa siya. Di ba? Sige, pagtawanan mo. Sige, picture mo. Okay. So, ayan. So, see this. So, ito yung actin, ito yung myosin, yung nasa gitna. Nakuha niya? Na? So, again, ito isang sarcomere, tapos sa kabila, isang sarcomere din siya. Ito yung A band, tapos ayun yung I band. Nakuha? So, dito, sa animation na to, you will see kung ano yung nangyayari sa sarcomere, ano yung nangyayari sa actin and myosin filaments during muscle contraction.
myosin myofilaments. In a relaxed muscle, actin and myosin myofilaments lie side by side, and the H zones and I band are at maximum width. During contraction, the actin and myosin myofilaments interact. The actins slide toward the center of each myosin myofilament. As a result, the sarcomeres shorten. In the fully contracted muscle, the ends of the actin myofilaments overlap, the H zones disappear, and the I band becomes very narrow.
So, anong ibig sabihin? During muscle contraction, anong nangyayari pala? Nag-slide in sila. Yun yung result kung bakit nag-shorten yung muscle. No? During muscle contraction, the muscle shortened because of what is happening in the sarcomere. Kasi nag-slide in. In fact, ang tawag ng mga experts dyan, no, is called the sliding filament model. So, yung nakita nyo na yun, yung nangyayari yun na yun, yung sliding filament model. Na pag nag-contract ang muscle, nag-slide in sila. Pag nag-relax ang muscle, babalik sa dati. Nakuha niyo yung point? Tapos, sa tingin niyo, pag in-stretch yung muscle, mapupunit ba yun? Hindi. Maano lang, mag-further lang yung paglalayo nila. Naintindihan? Pero hindi yan bibitaw sa isa't isa. Ibig sabihin, meron pa rin nakakapit sa dulo.
Sana.
No? Pag in-stretch. Okay, sana all,
I
no?
hope we're like muscles.
Kasi, pag bumitaw yan, yung actin tsaka yung myosin, alam mo, bumitaw na.
Parang muscles.
Wala na, hindi na ulit. Dapat may contact pa rin sa isa't isa. Kasi hindi na sila makapag-slide in ulit.
Sir, pero may limits lang sila.
Correct. Kaya hindi pwedeng ma-overstretch ang muscle.
Sir,
May mga, di ba? Halimbawa, mapupunit na talaga.
sir, pag napunit, hindi
May-
na may
actually-
ibabalik.
Surgery.
Nasa surgery, kaya lang medyo mahirap. Mas madaling ikabit pag tendon, pero pag muscle rupture, ang hirap. Pero may mga nagra-rupture talaga. Yung pagka sobra-sobra naman, yung weight na binubuhat, for example. Yun.
I think matagal din yan, sir.
Matagal ang recovery,
Ganito, sir.
actually. Ayun. Sakit niyan. Grabe. Sakit niyan.
Sa bicep. Pag na-overstretch.
Yan.
Parang dadaman sir.
Sir, comfort room po.
Okay. Next. Sige. Pakita ko lang din sa inyo kung ano nangyayari. Pakita ko lang. Eto. Yan. At microscopic level. Paano ba
Although the
nangyayari?
action between the filaments is described as sliding, the myosin filament actually pulls the actin along its length. The cross bridges of the myosin filaments attach to the actin filaments and exert force on them to move. This action is known as the sliding filament mechanism of muscle contraction. In this model, the sarcomeres shorten without the thick or thin filaments changing in length. A contraction begins when a bound ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP and inorganic phosphate. This causes the myosin head to extend and can attach to a binding site on actin, forming a cross bridge. An action called the power stroke is triggered, allowing myosin to pull the actin filament toward the M line, thereby shortening the sarcomere. ADP and inorganic phosphate are released during the power stroke. The myosin remains attached to actin until a new molecule of ATP binds, freeing the myosin to either go through another cycle of binding and more contraction or remain unattached to allow the muscle to relax.
Sir, na yung ADP.
Yan, explain ko sa inyo. Pero nagsimula, yung ADP galing yan sa ATP. Yung ATP, alam niyo na, adenosine triphosphate, di ba? Yun yung nagbibigay ng power dun sa myosin head para magawa niya yung power stroke na nakita niyo kanina. Okay? Pero, para ma-produce yung energy for power stroke, ATP must be split. Kailangan ma-split muna. Pag na-split ang ATP, ang product is ADP at inorganic phosphate. Yun ang byproduct niya. Pag in-split mo yung ATP, tanong mo na, ano yung ADP? That's byproduct of ATP. Pag in-split mo siya. Nakuha, yun yung nagbibigay ng energy sa power stroke. Di ba kasi yung nakita nyo kanina, sliding lang. Kaya pala siya nag-slide, it's because of the myosin head doing the power stroke. Sino nagbigay ng energy doon? ATP. Saan galing ang ATP? Yan ang magandang tanong. Di ba? Saan galing ang ATP? Sa mitochondria. Di ba? Di ba doon sa lecture?
It's a powerhouse.
Correct.
of the cell.
Powerhouse of the cell. Kaya, ang sabi natin kanina, di ba, isa sa mga kinds of cell in the body na maraming mitochondria,
Muscle.
yung muscles. Because ATP is needed for muscle contraction.
Sir, hindi po siya acronym for anything yung ADP.
ADP is adenosine diphosphate. Kasi ganito, samahan natin ang konting chemistry.
Ayoko.
Hindi ko lang, para lang mag-make sense. Kasi tinanong mo, ano yung ADP, di ba?
Sir, yung kasama sa... Sir, yung
Hindi ko nasama sa quiz. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Ilan ang phosphate? Adenosine triphosphate. Ang phosphate, 3. Okay. Ngayon, para makuha mo yung energy ni ATP, kailangan i-hydrolyze, split mo siya. Paano siya na-split? Na-split siya into ADP plus isang inorganic phosphate. So dito, ilan ang phosphate? 3. Dito, ilan ang phosphate? 2 na lang. Bakit? Kasi umisplit yung isa. Di ba? Phosphate dito, inorganic phosphate. Kaya ADP plus inorganic phosphate. Ibig sabihin niya, pag ganyan, nakuha mo na yung energy. Kumbaga, nakakarga na kay myosin head. Nakuha niyo yung point? Kaya, tingnan niyo, i-play ko ulit.
Although the action between the filaments is described as sliding, the myosin filament actually pulls the actin along its length. The cross bridges of the myosin filaments attach to the actin filaments and exert force on them to move. This action is known as the sliding filament mechanism of muscle contraction. In this model, the sarcomeres shorten without the thick or thin filaments changing in length. A contraction begins when a bound ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP and inorganic phosphate.
See? Di ba? Nag-start siya as ATP, tapos nagiging ADP plus inorganic phosphate. Doon mo lang kasi makukuha yung energy ni ATP pag in-split mo siya.
This causes the myosin head to extend and can attach to a binding site on actin, forming a cross bridge. An action called the power stroke is triggered, allowing myosin to pull the actin filament toward the M line, thereby shortening the sarcomere. ADP and inorganic phosphate are released during the power stroke. The myosin remains attached to actin until a new molecule of ATP binds, freeing the myosin to either go through another cycle of binding and more contraction or remain unattached to allow the muscle to relax.
So pag naubos ATP, sa tingin nyo, makakapag-contract ang muscle? Nakukuha? Okay.
Sir,
Na.
yan po ba yung pag nangingimay? Yung myosin yung tumatayo?
Ay, iba naman yung depende kasi sa term. Kaya nakakalito yung mga Tagalog na terms eh. Di ba? Ano ba ang ngimay?
Pag kunwari nakaupo ka tapos...
Yung parang meron needles and pins sensation?
Apo.
Ano yun? Iba naman yun. Sa nerves yun. Hindi yun sa muscles. Actually, sa nerves yun. Yung nangingimay.
So,
Yung parang
may ipit.
Oo, pag naiipit ng matagal, di ba? Yun. Pagdating natin sa neuroanatomy, yun yun. Nerves naman yun. Okay? Maliwanag ba? So, i-play ko lang ulit yung isang... ay, wala. So, ano, kaya pa? Play ko lang ulit. Nasaan na ba yun?
Parang nangingiliti siya.
In a relaxed muscle, actin and myosin myofilaments lie side by side, and the H zone
Yung isa, more detailed, ito yung bigger picture. Nakukuha niyo yung point? Ito yung bigger picture nun. Kasi dito, hindi nyo kita yung nangyayari dito. Ang pinakita doon sa isang video, yung nangyayari dito.
Sa pinakaloob.
Nakukuha niyo yung point? Yan yan. I-upload ko
and I band are at maximum width. During contraction, the actin and myosin myofilaments interact. The actins slide toward the center of each myosin myofilament.
Imagine lahat yan,
As a
ginagamit
result,
ng
the
ATP.
sarcomeres shorten. In the fully contracted muscle, the ends of the actin myofilaments overlap, the H zones disappear, and the I band becomes very narrow.
Okay?
Sir, gawin mo nga ulit.
Ayoko na. Ayan. Saan na tayo? Okay. Ngayon, pakita ko naman sa inyo yung
An action potential introduced.
okay, pakita ko sa inyo na eto din yung drawing ko kanina. Ayan. Ayan yung drawing ko kanina. Ayan yung drawing ko kanina. Eto yun. Ayan yan. Diba? Ayan yan. Oh, sarcolemma. Ito sarcolemma. Sarcolemma, tapos ito, ano to? T-tubules. Tapos ano itong mga nandito sa dalawang gilid? Yan yung endoplasmic or sarcoplasmic reticulum na may terminal cistern. So ito yung muscle triad. Naintindihan niya? Tapos, yan. Nasa loob pa rin ng muscle fiber, itong actin and myosin. Nakuha nyo. Kumbaga, i-explain na natin paano ba saan ang galing yung sliding filament, no? Kumbaga, yung sequence of events.
An action potential introduced at the neuromuscular junction is propagated along the sarcolemma of the skeletal muscle. At the T-tubule, the action potential is propagated on the T-tubule membrane into the interior of the muscle cell near the ends of the sarcoplasmic reticulum. The depolarization of the T-tubule membrane causes nearby voltage-gated calcium ion channels on the sarcoplasmic reticulum to open.
So what did we say earlier? Rewind ko lang. What did we say earlier? Anong nakastore sa sarcoplasmic reticulum? Calcium ions. Maliwanag ba? Calcium ions. Tapos,
On the sarcoplasmic reticulum to open, resulting in an increase in the permeability of the sarcoplasmic reticulum to calcium ions. Calcium ions.
Sa nagpunta calcium, nagpunta siya dun sa myofilaments. Maliwanag. Anong gagawin ng calcium?
Then diffuse from the sarcoplasmic reticulum into the sarcoplasm. Long filamentous tropomyosin proteins lie on two sides of the actin myofilament, covering up the sites where myosin can bind to the actin myofilament. Globular troponin proteins are attached to the tropomyosin.
Yun yung
When
ina-identify
calcium
kanina.
ions bind to troponin, this causes troponin to change conformation and move the tropomyosin. When the tropomyosin moves, this uncovers the myosin-binding sites on the actin, allowing myosin heads to bind and form cross bridges. The cross bridges play a role in muscle contraction.
So mas detailed mas detailed pa ngayon. Kanina, nakita nyo, cross bridges ATP. Nakukuha niyo yung point? No. So dito, kailangan pala ng calcium, di ba? Para pumunta dito sa actin so that yung myosin can bind. Without calcium, wala pa rin mangyayaring contraction. Nakukuha niyo yung point? Ngayon, di ba? Pag nakadikit siya, magkocontract yan. Maliwanag ba? Pag nakadikit siya, magkocontract yan. Ngayon, kailangan mag-relax yung muscle. Di ba? Paano magre-relax yung muscle? Kailangan yung calcium ibalik sa sarcoplasmic reticulum. After every contraction, itong calcium na to must be pumped back to the sarcoplasmic reticulum in order for the cross bridges to be detached. No? Pag na-detach na siya, that's the only time na magbabalik sila sa dati nilang places para mag-relax. Nakukuha niyo yung point. Ngayon, anong kailangan para ibalik si calcium sa sarcoplasmic reticulum? ATP din. So, dalawa ang role ni ATP. Ano yung unang role ni ATP? Para bigyan ng power yung cross bridges. Maliwanag ba? Ano pang isang role ni ATP? Para ibalik si calcium pabalik sa sarcoplasmic reticulum. Pag hindi na ibalik yan, nakatigas lang yung muscle na gano'n. Kaya, that is the reason why several hours, mga 2 to 3 hours pagkatapos mamatay ng tao, ano nangyayari sa katawan? Tumitigas. Bakit tumitigas? Ang tawag doon, rigor mortis. Diba? Parang pangalan ng tao, di ba? No? Rigor mortis meaning rigid, tapos mortis meaning death.
So, bakit
No?
yung iba, mabilis tumigas?
Mabilis. Oh, depende yon kung gaano kabilis na... Ay, talaga? Oh, depende yon kung gaano kabilis na deplete yung ATP. Kasi kailangan mong Bakit? Ano kinalaman nun? Na-deplete yung ATP tapos tumigas yung mga cell. Kasi kailangan si ATP para ibalik si calcium sa sarcoplasmic reticulum. Namatay, naubos si ATP. So hindi na maibalik yung calcium sa sarcoplasmic reticulum. Kaya tumitigas siya. Di ba?
Sir, yung sa tatay ko, 15 minutes pa lang ang tigas niya.
Ibig sabihin, gano'ng kabilis na na-deplete yung ATP.
Depende sa
Oo.
sakit niya.
Mm-mm. Depende yan.
Sir, paano po yung sinasabi na kahit patay na pero nagbungi pa din yung muscle?
Hindi, ano lang yon. Sa few minutes after death pwede mangyayari. Depende sa cause of death yon. Depende sa cause of death. Lalo na kung may, ano tawag dito? Ang cause of death neurologic. Or halimbawa, yung mga blood trauma sa ulo. Kasi kahit patay na, basta nagkakandak pa rin ang brain, pwede pa rin magkaroon ng twitching sa muscle. Pero ano yun, din yun, it won't last din. Pag naubos na rin yung oxygen, blood supply, hindi na rin makapag-conduct ang nervous system natin. Maliwanag, i-upload ko lahat ng videos na yan para mas maintindihan nyo. Okay. Saan na tayo? Okay. Ito itsura niya.
As the actin and myosin slide along each other, the entire sarcomere shortens as the Z
Yeah.
lines draw closer to the M line.
Yan.
As the sarcomeres in myofibrils contract, the entire muscle fiber will shorten. When muscle fibers contract in unison, a muscle can produce enough force to move the body, allowing you to take notes.
Wow.
Ha? So, ayun, na-connect natin mula dun sa start. Ito pa.
You use muscles every day to do activities. This woman is using muscles to breathe, circulate blood, and move her hand to take notes. Your cardiac and smooth muscle tissues are involuntary. You do not consciously control their action.
Ito, yung overview natin kanina. Para mas ma-appreciate niya.
Skeletal muscles are composed of bundles of muscle fibers. Muscle fibers are long cylindrical cells containing several nuclei. Muscles will contract or relax when they receive signals from the nervous system.
Yan.
A neuromuscular junction is the site of the signal exchange. This is where the synaptic bulb of an axon terminal and muscle fiber connect. Muscle fibers are composed of many myofibrils. A myofibril contains contractile units called sarcomeres. Sarcomeres run adjacent to one another down the length of the myofibril. Each sarcomere consists of alternating thick and thin protein filaments, giving skeletal muscle its striated appearance. The muscle contracts when these filaments slide past each other. The thick filaments are myosin, which are anchored at the center of the sarcomere, called the M line. The thin filaments are composed of the protein actin, which are anchored to the Z lines on the outer edges of the sarcomere. Because the actin filaments are anchored to the Z lines, the sarcomere shortens from both sides when actin filaments slide along the myosin filaments.
Okay? Ngayon, play ko lang ulit
Skeletal muscles are composed of bundles of muscle fibers. Muscle fibers are long cylindrical cells containing several nuclei. Muscles will contract or relax when they receive signals from the...
Okay? So, merong binanggit na naman na isa. No? Ito yung dulo ng nerve, ng neuron, tapos ito yung surface ng muscles, no? Muscle fiber. No? Ito yung surface ng sarcolemma. This part, no, is called the neuromuscular junction. Ang tawag dyan, neuromuscular junction. Yan yung junction where the end of the nerve cell meets the sarcolemma of the muscle fiber. Kung saan sila nagtatagpo. Di ba sabi ko kanina, di ba? Ang signal saan nanggagaling sa nervous system. No? So yan na yung junction ng nervous system at ng muscle fiber. That's called the neuromuscular junction. Ngayon, i-discuss na, i-ano natin kung ano bang nangyayari. Panoorin natin. Ano bang nangyayari sa neuromuscular junction? Ito.
An action potential arrives at the presynaptic terminal, causing voltage-gated calcium ion channels to open, increasing the calcium ion permeability of the presynaptic terminal cell membrane. Calcium ions enter the presynaptic terminal and cause vesicles to release their neurotransmitter acetylcholine from the synaptic vesicles into the presynaptic cleft. Diffusion of acetylcholine across the synaptic cleft and binding of acetylcholine to acetylcholine receptors on the postsynaptic muscle fiber membrane causes an increase in the permeability of ligand-gated sodium ion channels. The movement of sodium ions into the muscle cell results in depolarization of the postsynaptic membrane. Once threshold has been reached, a postsynaptic action potential is generated and is propagated over the muscle cell membrane. Acetylcholine is rapidly broken down to acetic acid and choline in the synaptic cleft by the enzyme acetylcholinesterase. The choline is reabsorbed by the presynaptic terminal and combined with acetic acid to form more acetylcholine, which enters the synaptic vesicles.
Ayan na naman, magdodrawing na naman ako.
Sir, sure na walang video.
Ha?
Walang video.
Drawing.
Drawing na. Para mas maano nyo. Kung kaya nyo ding i-drawing pag nagre-review kayo, para mas madali nyo matandaan. Ayan, tapos dito. Ayan, dalawa na lang ito-drawing ka. Okay. Para lang makita nyo yung kabuuan ng muscles, yung nangyari. Okay. So, ito yung hinuli natin, pero ito talaga yung unang mangyayari. Okay? Nervous system, ito yung end ng neuron, ito yung neuron. No? Tapos ito yung indentations or indentation dun sa sarcolemma. Ano ulit ang tawag dito? This is your neuromuscular junction. When an impulse is sent from the nervous system, it arrives at the end of the neuron as an action potential. Ano daw ang nasa dulo ng mga nerve cells? Anong nasa dulo ng mga neuron? Nandun sa video. Anong nandun? Mga calcium channels. Pag dumating daw ang action potentials, ano mangyayari sa calcium channels na to? Yung calcium channels will open, which will result to the entry of calcium sa loob ng nerve. Anong gagawin ng calcium? Ang gagawin ng calcium, papagalawin niya yung mga vesicles sa loob. Kaya vesicular transport to. Natatandaan niyo yung vesicular transport natin na endocytosis and exocytosis. Ito na yon. Ang gagawin ni calcium, dadalhin niya yung mga vesicles papunta sa dulo ng neuron. And these vesicles, when they fuse, ilalabas nila yung content nila. Anong laman ng vesicles na yon na ilalabas through exocytosis? Binanggit kanina, acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter, no? Papunta dito sa muscle cell. So itong acetylcholine, siya ngayon yung tatakbo papunta dito sa muscle cell. And it is the acetylcholine now that will cause the action potential across the muscle fiber. Yun ngayon yung tatakbo dito na action potential. Nabababa dito sa T-tubules that will stimulate also the sarcoplasmic reticulum, that will release the calcium, that will go to actin. Maliwanag ba? And then the rest is, yun na yun, kung ano yung nangyari kanina sa video.
Repeat lang yan, no, sir? Repeat lang. Ang process.
Oo. Nakuha niya? So, yun yun. Yun yung buong process na yun. Okay? Lahat yan, ipopost ko dun sa video. Ay, ipopost ko sa LMS natin. Kaya, dun sa ating quiz, na, kailan nyo gusto mag-quiz? Monday or Wednesday?
Wag na, ay, hindi.
Sir, online
Kailangan ko
naman.
buman.
Mag-aral, para makapag-aral kayo over the, makapag-aral mo kayo over the weekend.
Sir,
Actually, Monday, may sequencing dun.
Sir, online Tuesday.
O kasi
hapon.
ano, ang dami yun. Sequence yan eh. Sequence of
Sir,
events.
Tuesday.
Practice
Tuesday.
questions.
Sige, try ka dito. Practice. Sige, Monday mag-practice questions mo.
Sir, tas Tuesday.
Tapos Wednesday ang quiz.
Sir, Tuesday online kahit hapon.
Tuesday wala naman tayong
Wala naman
Tuesday
tayo
eh.
Tuesday.
Kaya nga,
May
sir,
tayo.
kahit
Post mo
hapon.
daw, sir. Post.
Ay, practice?
Hindi, sir, yung ano.
Quiz na quiz na.
Yung quiz, hindi pwede. Wala tayong gagamitin ng classroom. eh.
Hindi daw.
Sir, sa LMS?
Sa LMS, hindi pwede.
Bakit?
Ano na eh. Tawag doon. Second term na. Yung first term, yun yung kumbaga, ano nyo. Pero magpa-practice, ano tayo? Practice questions tayo sa Monday.
Sir, ilang
Para
items?
dito. 20 items.
Sa items din mo yung quiz.
Paper, pen and paper.
Sige, Wednesday tayo mag-quiz. Practice questions, Monday.
Pen and paper.
Talagyan
Or
mo
sa
na.
online.
Sa LMS.
Sir,
Okay, sasagutan niya. Pero may time limit din yun. Pero that's not recorded. Okay, tapos i-rationalize natin
Sir,
yun.
lagyan mo rin ng sequence sa practice.
Oo, lalagyan
Sir, dun ka rin kukuha ng ano,
sequencing.
question.
Yung iba.
Sir, sa quiz, may
Ang
mga
dami
picture
nito.
na ba ganun?
Oo,
Ah,
sir.
Possibly. Okay?
naman
Pero nakuha niyo yung nakuha niyo yung sequence. Medyo mahaba nga lang
Mahaba
siya.
nga siya.
Overwhelming siya, pero naintindihan
Pero
niyo.
gets naman sir.
Mhm.
Pag inaral na.
Mahaba lang sir.
Pag inaral niyo ulit. Pagka pinost ko lahat ng video, alam niyo naman kung alin ang una. Kasi putol-putol, di ba? Alam niyo kung alin yung muna mangyayari. Tapos isusunod.
Ah, may video naman.
Mm. Di ba? Kaya yan. Kaya imagine, no? Gagamitan ko kayo ng
Ang hirap nang iswallow sir.
anong to? Gagamitan ko kayo ng anong tawag doon?
Yung dami
Nung
na-
time namin card. Ayan. Ayan. Nung time nga namin, wala pang mga videos na ganyan. Oo, talaga babasahin natin yan sa book lang talaga. Sa libro. Although may illustration na rin yung step by step. Hindi ka tulad ngayon mga videos. Yun nga lang, naaabuso masyado yung mga videos. Hindi na tuturo teacher. Yan. So, okay? Questions? Hindi natin sasagad yung time kasi natapos naman natin.
Tapos na, sir.
Hindi po siya related sa pero yung nasabi po sa inyo ni Sir JC yung about situation namin.
Bakit?